All right. Hello. Happy Saturday, everybody. Well, Saturday for me. Those of you who are joining maybe in Australia might be Sunday morning for you, or in Europe, late Sunday. But welcome, everyone. Good to see everybody joining me now. I'm excited to be here today. I have a special guest with me today. My name is Jeremy. I'm with Made Management. I'm your host here today for this special live session that we have. And I have a special guest joining me, and I'm going to bring her on. Let's see if she's here. There she is. All right. It is
Hello.
one and only Haydn Jones. So, Haydn, I don't know if I told you this or not, but today we are going to talk industry. Obviously, I
hmm
want to pick your brain, get all this wisdom from you, but also we're going to solve all the world's problems.
Indeed.
Okay.
Ready to take that on. Absolutely.
You ready for that? I know we only have an hour, but I think we can make it happen. So,
Be the agent of change. Yes.
um, Hayden, I know where are you joining from today?
Los Angeles. Super fun
Oh,
times. Nice little sunny
nice,
75.
beautiful. I love it. I'm actually in Montana. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Ooh, no, I didn't. Yay.
Yep.
That's super
I
cool.
have you been in Montana before?
I've never been to Montana.
Well,
Is
you
it
are
as
missing.
is it as the television says?
It's more so. It's definitely more.
Okay.
If you watch the series Yellowstone,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just
That.
yeah,
I'm still
yeah,
born and raised Dallas, Texas. Of course. The
of
whole
course.
Jones family we watch and converse and debate.
Dallas. So
Favorite character is probably Beth.
you bleed Dallas blue.
I do. Yeah, I do. And yeah,
I
but Yellowstone wise, yeah, favorite character for sure is Beth. She's
Yeah, Beth
great,
Beth is great.
brilliant. There's range, that big ol' emotion. Like that's an actor right there.
Yeah. No, she's great. I love the series. Um, being up here in Montana is just like that series Yellowstone, if anybody's seen it. There's like cowboys shooting each other and bombs going off, exploding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the usual.
wolf,
Yeah,
they're little with a little bit of wolf conservation instructions and education.
right. I'm in a small little town called Red Lodge, Montana. It's kind of a cool little
Ooh,
thing, and they have
one
a Renaissance.
one stoplight town, huh?
Yeah, they have a Renaissance festival happening this weekend. So
Oh, cool, Ren Fair, yeah.
yeah.
We have a
I
couple
was thinking about
cosplayers on the roster. It's a good
Yeah, I
time.
was thinking about putting on some cosplay, maybe go LARPing in the
Listen, the beard
fields.
works. Many of those characters, many of those roles, for sure.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to our viewers today. And viewers, as a reminder, as we're here chatting, feel free, anything that we're talking about, feel free to drop in questions that you have. They'll pop up here. We'll try to get to all of your questions and answer all those world-solving problem questions that you guys have out there. But Hayden, why don't you tell everyone who you are and what you do?
Amazing. Yes. Hi viewers, how we doing? Thank you, Jeremy and Maid Management for having me. And along with next, zooming to you from LA, but based from Dallas, Texas. But I've been in Los Angeles for 10 years. I am a talent agent. So I have the beautiful duty to procure auditions for actors, on camera actors such as yourselves. And there's some off camera voiceover in there, narration, radio, trailers, a whole other gambit, a whole other world from the voiceover booth. As well as say print commercial, things like that. But yeah, we're a full service talent agency in commercials, TV and film, voiceover, and print of all ages. And we were able to represent all over. It is very nice to be in sunny California, but definitely the opportunities are everywhere. So within my email inbox, of the power I behold and audition opportunities and working with casting directors and working with production companies. Um, and producers and folks like that. It's a great time. It's wonderful to develop talent.
Nice. And now, Hayden, you and I go way back. I know that. I was trying
hmm
to remember. I was trying to remember the first time you and I worked at a showcase together. I believe it was in New Orleans. Is that correct, or was it before that?
I want to say New Orleans is definitely a button story. It's a great one. I think it's before that though.
Was it?
Um,
Could have been.
yeah, my journey of 10 years, like it's we meet all walks of life. We meet fabulous people like you and your team and Denise, love to her. Um, and everything. I think it might have been before that. We might have Vegas first.
Oh,
Um, seeing
yeah,
talent
may
from
have.
all over the US doing fabulous things. So
Nice. And I think the last time I saw you in person was in July of last year, I
oh my
think,
goodness.
just
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, just about.
Or off.
Like we
Yeah.
only have a one in-person year anniversary.
So speaking of
Go
Dallas,
Rams
that's
if
where
you ever come for a game.
hey, I got my Rams hat.
Yeah.
I'm supporting the Rams today.
Yeah, the city in Los Angeles is buzzing. If anyone's ever gonna come visit, we're gonna have back-to-back worldly events. World Cup, then Super Bowl, and then LA 28, the big buzz, summer
That's
games, Olympics in Los Angeles.
yeah, that's gonna be a
I
crazy,
think they
crazy
might have
time.
finally put a rush on our construction. That might be it.
It's
We get
gonna be fun
to go to
driving
LA
around.
and do the acting thing or performer artist thing and make the big move. There's still traffic. There'll still be construction. None of that will change.
None of that will ever change, right?
The
So
airport's
coming
lovely though. It's its own city.
so coming from Dallas, that's where you're from originally. That's where your family's at.
Mhm. Mhm.
Obviously, Cowboys fan.
Yes, through and through.
I'm
Through
gonna
and through. Born and raised.
I'm gonna apologize to anybody viewing right now who may not be a Cowboys fan. Just
Or
you know,
not a Los Angeles Rams fan. I don't know why everyone puts this on me. There are 32 teams in the NFL if you are fall football, American football fan.
American football. Well, speaking of your 10 years as an agent, I would love
Mhm.
to. I don't think you and I have ever talked about it. I would love to kind of get your backstory of how it started. I know that, like, like, how did you get into the business? What's the story behind all
Yeah. um I did the traditional internship train. So I was able to spend summers out here. Had an older sibling, graduated from University of Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles, and that time, she had her career and journey. Ultimately, ended up on the PR publicist side. So those folks who are styling you for that red carpet or that Jimmy Kimmel interview moments. So her and her friends and colleagues were very gracious with their time. I spent summers out here. I was able to intern and see a little bit of all of it, the management side, the studio side, and the internship I fell in love with is talent agenting. Um, yeah, you really can't major at university in this, so it is definitely hit the ground running. Interviews. Um, working working a mailroom reception position or an assistant position to learn directly from that representation or representative. So in those instances, to learn from an agent or representative, um, get them giving you their wisdom has been that 10-year trajectory. I've worked many departments, like I said, on camera commercials, on camera TV and film, or with all ages and all creative personalities involved as well. So it's always um, just like starting anything new. It's a learning curve, and this is a do and find out type of industry sort of thing. Because also with your questions today, you don't know what you don't know. And so the same thing in this professional realm or in this representation side, you don't know until you have to handle it or put it or problem solve that plan, and then you learn and
that?
grow from there.
So your sibling was out in LA prior to you
Mhm.
being there. You'd go visit, and they were involved in the industry, uh,
Yes.
and so it kind of intrigued you. Did you always like grow up dreaming of like being an agent or
Being the
being an
agent?
actress?
Uh, actually, sort of. Not a performer. But being an agent, sort of. So the entertainment space, or like our TV room was our family time. We also never missed like a blockbuster movie, in theaters. That was our family time as well. So, um, I was released to the arts earlier, had access to the arts early. My mom was also professional ballet dancer and teacher. She had traveled the world as well as educated in the city of Dallas at Booker T. Washington and Dallas Arts Magnet. So we had access to the arts early. Live performances, shows, musicals on tour that come through Dallas, things like that. So, band kid myself, as well as marching band. So, the arts, music, creativity have been a part of my um, upbringing forever. To dream about agents, not quite. Definitely, it was definitely something in contracts at one time, like IP here, maybe sports there, but to land in acting on camera, talent representation, that's still, like many others, fell into my lap.
It's funny because when I talk to people here on the different sessions, it's interesting to hear their backstory and how they got into the industry. I
Mhm.
love hearing all about it. Growing up around the arts, your parents kind of obviously pushed creative artistic types of
Oh,
endeavors
for
for you.
sure. For sure, for
And
sure. But like I said, like there's never not a TV show or movie on in my house. And we are definitely a family of quoters and reviewers and everything. So from all genres. Um in particular for me, like animation was a big thing. Um it's cathartic. It's very much therapy, and it's pretty freaking cool. And growing up in the golden age of Disney, like the renaissance of animation, as they say. So I think I was told that I saw Die Hard in theaters before the age of 4. So uh not walking and talking, the debate of it being a Christmas film, but
yeah, it is, right? I
and the
mean,
cinematic experience and the television experience, especially now with the streaming wars, um, there's always something to discuss, become a fan of, and be part of fandom universes and everything. And like I mentioned, music as well. It's like music is the universal language with all of us. So when that combines with a great show or movie, like I mean, we are Hans Zimmer, John Williams fan for sure. Hopefully, if ever you guys come to Los Angeles, come to the Hollywood Bowl. Our summer holiday season is always a good orchestra moment of the gentleman who came up with the Superman score or the Gladiator score. It's a very fun time.
nice. I love it. So obviously a big fan, but you mentioned it, so I want to kind of go there.
Yep.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right?
Yes, yes. At this point, yes, it is. Yes, yes. I Listen, if the Star Wars and Star Trek fans can make up and figure it out, then yeah, Die Hard is a Christmas film. Yes.
Well, I wanted to kind of dive a little bit into your profession and what you
Mhm.
do. And I know a lot of viewers on here today may be either like aspiring to get into the business or aspiring to get an agent, whether it be through modeling or acting or voiceover or whatever the case is. I know a lot of great people that watch this and are into the arts in the industry. But as far as being an agent, what
Mhm.
is your number one like greatest thing about being an agent? What do you love most about your job?
What I love most about the job, besides hanging with you, Jeremy, all the time, like discovering new people, discovering new talent. The discovering part is like digging in the sandbox at recess. You're like, I'm still gonna find the thing we bear, or like a when a puppy buries their first stick. It's like I'm still gonna find my prize. Um, that's like developing talent. That's like getting through that surface, all that surface stuff, all that new training, all that new acting, rewire a brain sort of thing. If you've never done it, or say if like you're starting out in adult life versus like being a youth actor sort of thing, retraining your brain of what all of this is, what you do when you're acting. Favorite part is probably that aha moment, that light bulb emoji that when for one of my actors, like it's that aha moment. Because some come in, I mean, like everything that we do, some come to this business of give it a shot, give it a try, just shooting your shot. Hamilton, not throwing away your shot. And that's the potential and confidence that we look for. But the aha moment of, I got this. Like, this is my thing. This does work. This can work. That aha moment can't be beat. Can't be beat with a talent. Very fun.
Nice. Vanessa says to say hi to you in the
Hello.
chat. Hi, Vanessa. Nice. Vanessa, where are you joining from? Put that in the chat too. I'd love to hear that. I know we have people all over the world that watch the
Yeah.
stream. So Hayden, you said that you work with all ages. So at
Mhm.
the Jones Collective. It, so all ages being like 2 years old, 5 years old. Like what's the minimum and what's the oldest? Like
For
you
sure.
would you work with somebody who is 93?
If you know how to turn in your tapes, yes. If we are still nimble on that computer, I appreciate it. And there are still rules for that upper class age, if you will. Youngest on the roster currently is 18 months, but if anyone has a new family member of recent or of late, a youth actor can work in the business as soon as 15 days old. Um, I think they're banking on as soon as one gets all their paperwork back from the hospital, what have you. But yeah, that work permit, that piece of paper, that driver's license for them to be on set, if you will, the work permit. You can work as soon as 15 days old. So if you're watching all your medical dramas, I think that's where all the newborns come from. So yeah, you can work as young as that. And yeah, of course we'll take on someone 93. Again, nimble with technology, and but we're here to make sure your production accommodations are always seen fit if we are in need of other amenities or accessories or wheelchair, what have you.
So obviously all ages. I get this
Mhm.
question a lot from new people that are breaking into the industry, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old." And
Too
maybe
old.
somebody who's
Too old.
50 or 60.
Well, that's why I scroll back to the aha moment. Like, because if you're already going to tell yourself you're too old, then I guess you are.
True.
Um, that's back to that aha moment. Because I've had folks live their life, family, empty nesters, career, whatever it is, on to that next book, that next chapter for themselves. And it's definitely a self discipline to get yourself over that thought process, because that's what's going to hold you back regardless. And your acting will show that off too. So when we are looking for talent or discovering talent, it is that hot button word of confidence and authenticity. And then, but when if it's churning in your brain, it's like, I'm too old, I'm not, I did all these things, that'll definitely show in your performance. So,
Right.
so to that, you're never too old or young to do anything. It's your mindset. Um, Like that favorite apparel famous line. What is it? Oh yeah, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, and it makes me wonder why people sometimes, maybe somebody's in their 50s that they think they're too old, and I'm thinking to myself, well, you watch TV, you see people on TV that
Yeah,
are your age or older
yeah.
than you. Why do you think you're too old to start?
Maybe they
So,
went through a couple of more practices than you did, and you do have to
right,
catch up. Um, but hey, if that's what you, if this is what you want to do, and it is in the core of you, just it feeds you. Feed me Seymour, Little Shop of Horrors.
go for
Then
it, right?
that work has to go into it for sure.
Vanessa says she's from Houston. Hello, Vanessa from
H
Houston.
Town, what up?
H-Town. Susan says she's 71 and she is
Ooh,
here
love that.
today.
Susan, a
Nice,
pleasure.
nice.
Welcome.
Welcome. I see Shannon, Bella.
She's still
Bella's
taking her
from
vitamins. We love that.
NYC. Yeah, I mean, she's still here, 71. Those of you who are watching, I mean, kudos to Susan. I love that she's here and uh, doing her thing, right?
Getting it.
Um, so as far as a new actor, I know that you scout a lot of talent and you
Yeah.
bring new people on your rosters.
Hmm.
Um, what is one thing that you look for in a new actor that really makes you think, "Ooh, I would love to work with this person." Like, I know that's a difficult question, but y can you kind of elaborate on when you're meeting a new talent,
Hmm.
what would you love to really see from them, like maybe on their resume or, something that they have that you think, okay, this
Yeah,
person
sure.
maybe has this.
Um, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that in 3 bites because resume is a great look at because not many say have the same one. Not everyone is born into the Actors Union of SAG. You have to start somewhere, even if you have no credits. So when you're a brand new actor, and look at the training that you have been able to find and procreate training for yourself in hopefully all categories to build that solid on camera foundation and technique that you have been able to in your search find that training that is reasonable viability because there are um, those classes that'll train you New York style. There are classes that'll teach you theater style. There are the classes that'll teach you multicam, single cam, comedy, all of drama. What is all that? Scene study, commercials, just improv. Some folks only see stand up as for stand up comedians, but I think that's a great way to get rid of your live performance shooters because even though it's a self tape, even though if you're zooming or doing a on camera audition in this setting instead of an in person casting director setting, um, performing live can help what's happening in your space when you're alone, right? Um, you have a whole audience to tell you what's up. So, don't forget about that improv comedy or stand up moments where you could have an open mic opportunity for you to work out your work, if you will. And it's repetition as well. So on that resume, the all encompassing umbrella that is training. Um, this is still a traditional be a triple threat type of industry. Bring those vocals, bring that dance, bring the body movement technique, if you will, because it all comes together. You figure out what your core is doing to with your head, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So when you are in these scenarios in training, being in tune with your body, um, that'll also present itself when you're working on your auditions as well. Um, and being comfortable looking at yourself in the mirror and doing your thing of not only breaking down that character, interpreting that character, but also how does that character move? How does that character feel? Exude themselves towards the audience in that performance. So training for sure on the resume. Um, in all categories that you can get yourself a hold of and be well rounded in your skills. Like I said, it is still a traditional triple threat industry of the sing, dance, and act, but with so many other entertainment categories now and being multi hyphenate and um, being able to work in so many other genres and venues and styles. Um, that when you're bringing your real life moments and skills to your resume as well, then this is what makes casting's life easier. Um, if you have that hobby that you think no one else has, I promise you, that's why the internet exists. There's a whole probably group of people that enjoy playing the kazoo with you, sort of thing. And I bring it up because it was one of the strangest commercial breakdowns I've ever seen for Facebook. Pre-meta, pre-named meta. It was still Facebook, and they just wanted kazoo players. So they wanted real kazoo players. I cannot make this up. I will never make anything up of anything I come across in my job or when I'm submitting on projects. But this commercial in particular, kazoos, and either you are part of the Facebook group already authentically in this, or you perform and or know how to play the kazoo. And there's an entire commercial set scene on a college campus of kazoo players for a Facebook commercial. I think it
Is
was 2000. I think it's early 2010s. But I'm sorry, not 2010s because yeah, no, I got here in 2015. Might be like 2016, 2017, but that's how niche or specific, excuse me,
Did you
job can get.
did you have a client that you were able to
I did
put on
not.
that?
I was so sad. I couldn't even submit on the project. And that's what we're and that is brings me to another point of talent that I look for. Your honesty and your candor with your rep. Because I literally, legitimately need to know everything about you. And like I said, if you feel it's obscure, if you feel it's out there, trust that there are creatives and advertising agency in this case, TV and film and writers on the other side just as weird or just as an outlier. Writing that experience or plugging that in, so then we all have a moment, a moment on screen that makes us laugh, gives us joy. But no, I did not have a single actor. I was like, who plays? And I emailed everyone. I was like, who? You don't have to feel any type of way. I am not judging you, but who's in kazoo? Who plays kazoo? I had no one. So sad. But I
I
thought it
mean,
was fascinating. I thought it was fascinating of how niche and detailed they got. And I was like, oh yeah, everyone, an artist can come from anywhere. And there you
I
go.
mean,
Look on
I
TV.
played the kazoo when I was 7, but I mean, I don't think
Sure.
that would. Are there professional
It was a
kazoo?
recorder for me. We eventually got to trombone and marching band and drumline and things like that. But yeah, niche
Nice.
things like that. So be well rounded when it comes to all of that, the resume and training. Um, and And yes, I bring up the obscure kazoo story because then be brave, be bold, be proud of what you got going on, because that could have been your television commercial moment, and that commercial ran for a while. So
Nice.
there you
And those
go.
guys probably made good money doing
We
that.
hope. I think so. Yes, I do remember it often. Was it fall? Was it football season? Yeah, I do remember it often. So, but be bold. Be bold. This is not an industry of faint of heart. It is full of heartbreak and rejection and everything else in between. And just because I'm behind an email or behind a computer or not sending you emojis every day of how much I adore you, that no, the heartbreak is real. We feel it too, and but always rooting for you. So be bold. I seek bold talent. Because I'm crazy for doing this, for sure. Jeremy, like we're pretty insane in the membrane. But we love it. But we love it because it's fun. It is great, and the end result is like none other.
So from what I gather on the resume, you want to see somebody that has dance, improv, all kinds of classes, and kazoo skills. That's what you're
Yeah,
looking for an
and
aspiring actor.
kazoo skills.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
going back.
Oh, there's also because of the bear, a lot of chef asks now.
Okay.
So if you're watching FX the Bear, start working on your
Yeah.
chef skills.
When's the new? Did the new season just come out or
Something
not?
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
About yes.
I I watched the first seasons and then waiting for the next one, but I didn't realize it was already out. Cool. I'll have to go look
Oh,
that up.
it drops June 25th.
June 25th. Nice.
End of the month.
Mark my calendar. I'm marking my calendar right now.
Absolutely. 3 days before my sister's birthday. I was like, perfect timing. It's one of our favorite shows.
Is it?
Hmm.
So I hear when I talk to people on here a lot, they mention improv, and
Sure.
and
It's a tough one.
right. And I was thinking about this the other day. How do I break it down in simple terms to somebody of why so many industry reps love to see improv on a resume? And I was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was thinking it's because as an aspiring or a new actor, you get caught up in the script and you get caught up in the words you're memorizing and what
Sure.
you're supposed to say next
Yeah.
and how you're supposed to respond as soon as the other actor responds. If you're preparing for theater or
Hmm.
whatever, an audition,
Hmm.
but improv makes you not know what's coming up. it makes you
Yeah.
react just what's
Yeah.
happening in front of you, right? Is that
Mhm.
would that be probably the best way to kind of summarize
Yeah,
that or explain it?
absolutely. Something that keeps you on your toes. Um, just like anything else, to say my readers, when you turn that next page of a book, of your favorite book that you keep going back um, to and even to my fellow TV watchers, like, or movie watchers, like, it's like, if you watch it on repeat, you know what's gonna happen, but you do have your favorite scenes. There's always that shining moment, that Oscar-winning moment sort of thing. Um, so improv is one of those few arts that absolutely keep you on your toes and then make those brain synapses start churning, make you start flowing. Um, it's not, everyone's gift, but it's also another muscle to work on. Repetition is
Right.
key because, if we are, I read the Karate Kid. Yes, the movie's out. If we're in the Karate Kid universe, like repetition is key, right? Repetition, repetition, repetition. So improv, keeping you on your toes in that way, what happens in the moment. Once you find out what you do and how you go about it, you're forging your path. Even though it's like you didn't plan it and you're out of control, and maybe that anxiety takes up a little bit, but this is also how we practice to balance that out as well. Be in that moment. Be um able to excuse me, challenge that big emotion. Challenge those big moments too, because acting is the biggest room of play. That's what everyone forgets. You're supposed to be at play. You're supposed to be creating. You're so focused and worried about the words on the page. And yes, you should. When you audition, follow the writer's words, do what the casting director asks, unless redirected. Follow those instructions. But to improv, keeping you on your toes, it's the biggest room of play. So improv allows you with no rules in that regard. There's something unstructured, which is very hard, for all ages. I will pick on my adults though. Once you're, have an idea or thought, it's very concrete, it's very physical, it's very much so to manifest. Or your body is doing it involuntarily, or you're subconsciously doing it. But improv hopefully gets you out of that. So remember, um, be at play, be at play. The big emotions are allowed here. Um, Rage it out, yell it out, be proud, all that good stuff. Um, they're allowed here. So improv, don't run away from it because that's why it's coming for you.
Well, everybody wants to see that on the resume, all the industry reps, but it's also good. I mean, I've never taken an improv class, but I could imagine if I did, how it
You'd
could
be
help
great.
you in different areas of life, right? In different walks of life and just
Yeah.
with
Interviewing, things like this, your
right.
own TikTok lives, if you have your social medias ready to go, your podcast idea, your short film idea, whatever it is, because um, it also helps you be attentive towards the study of life.
Right.
With
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
not being able to control what your scene partner is going to do or what's going to happen
Right.
next, this can be knowledge. This could be used to your advantage, but very much benefit you. So then, different perspectives, different scenarios coming your way. Change that mindset, change your universe.
Well, I have a few people here asking a couple of questions, so let's try to get caught up on a couple of those.
Sure.
We have we have a question here from let's see, Susan. Susan asked on the resume, going back to the resume,
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
where is it proper to tell or share your life experiences on a resume? Like, is there a place for that on the resume? And
Sure.
and I don't know, Susan, what you mean by that, but I would imagine like maybe if something traumatic happened in your life, would you want to
Ooh,
see that on somebody's resume?
ooh, personal experiences. Yeah. Okay. So, um, PDF style, make it one sheet. I'd say personal experience fit in that bottom skill section. So if you do have personal experience we want to share, Let's see. Credits, training, skills section. Above or below that skills section, put in personal experiences. And I would say if it's professional or license or certifications related, um, jot those down in that way. If it's um, familiar or personal related, um, that subject or title of it could be like, I mean, if you're sharing that you have 3 kids, like, great. Unless those were family of actors. It's great to know that you are a parent, not necessarily needed, but if it's, in relation to professional certifications, licenses, things like that, um, or personal experience that you've gone through that you feel you've seen in your researchers on TV right now that's relevant to, say, a role, to be authentic to that role, to be authentically cast in that role, of um, uh, your personal experiences, then yeah, absolutely. Top, like I said, top or below that skills section for sure.
Well, like for example, if somebody served in the military for 15 years,
Absolutely.
you can
Yeah.
absolutely put that in your resume because you have some skill sets or some knowledge that
Yeah.
somebody who
So
didn't
in
serve doesn't.
in skills, a lot of people put their training, what weapons came with that, um, and nothing that is confidential or anything like that. If depending on what level of military you are. So in the skills section, I do always see that weapons training, that vehicle training, things like that. Um, and then they do add in that years of experience to in that same vein. Same thing with, say, my dancers or what have you, and then they're breaking down their genres and categories of what they are expert in. Um, as we know, point ballet is different from contemporary. We know contemporary is different from lyrical and jazz, sort of thing. So, yeah, experiences like that, plus then elaborating on so.
Nice. I also have somebody here, Derek mentioned that he's from Australia. Shout out to Derek there.
Hello,
Happy
international friend.
Sunday. He's like a time warp. He's enjoying Sunday before we get to.
Yeah, I bet. Good morning.
He's from the Gold Coast. Nice. Last time, quick story. Last time I was in the Gold Coast, I ended up in the hospital for a
Oh
couple of
no,
days.
were
Yeah,
you jet skiing? Are you okay? Like, did a shark get you? How's this work,
it was a shark attack. No, it wasn't.
dude?
uh,
Listen,
no,
it's
you
their
know what?
ocean. It's their ocean. Okay, please,
It
please.
is. We
Their
let them
waters.
be.
Like I'm waiting for the Meg. Just waiting for a helicopter to randomly fly over. I'm like, oh, there's the Meg. There they are.
There's
There's the Meg.
no.
Like they're
I was actually
good.
I traveled. Quick story. I traveled from Vegas, and I went from Vegas to LA to Gold Coast, and so 15 hours or 18 hours of traveling, whatever it was. But I had eaten Vegas buffet
Oh
like about
no.
2 hours before I got on the flight. So when I landed, I was definitely not feeling very good at all. And
Oh
the next day,
no.
I took some medicine. I checked in my hotel, took some medicine. The next day, I was shaving and I nicked my beard when I was
Uh-oh.
like trimming it. I had a big hole in the side of my beard. So I was like, oh, and I had to work, meet people the next day. So I was like,
For sure.
I,
The
I can't
barber's
I can't
not
go with a
around.
hole. So I shaved my beard, and then later on that night, I ended up feeling so bad I was rushed into the hospital, and I had food poisoning, and I
Oof.
blame it on the beard, and that's
Sure.
why I will never shave my beard ever again.
Understood. Everyone's got that superstition before an audition, before a performance. Everyone's
Now
got the tradition.
now, obviously, Derek is from Australia. Uh, I get this question a lot from international clients.
Sure.
Is it difficult to get onto a U.S. project internationally? And I know that, that's kind of a loaded question as well, but have you worked in the industry where you've represented somebody that's outside of the U.S., or have you seen
I
that
have.
happen?
I have. I wasn't like directly a part of the team, but I have worked with international folks. To that, either we've been lucky and blessed that they were already dual citizens. One
Okay.
parent, one parent from the US, one parent not, or by marriage for another adult client, so on and so forth. I would say we take the Margot Robbie storyline. Um, when you book, and they will do the dalliance on your behalf for sure. Um, so it's not difficult because, again, back to authentic casting. They do, in fact, want the natural voice, natural cadence. Even though you're not a you're you're not a language, you are a dialect in this case. In language physiology that we talk about, the Australian dialect, the Australian accents. They do want to be authentic with that. So when casting and folks are putting all that together, then they're going to find the real talent, a real nationality, a real ethnicity, um or background of that actor that they're looking for to make the story truthful, to make the moment happen. Um and to the rest of it, like I said, um when you have a performer or performance or a superstar like say Margot was, and she's Australian, that they will do the dalliance and they will get it done. But with, yeah, like I said, moments that casting and the studio want to get it right, or the commercial wants to get it right, or the voiceover job wants to get it right, that they find the right talent in the right region of
And
the world when they
there's a
do their.
lot of famous actors from Australia and other parts of the world
Yeah,
as
and then
well.
so the running joke is that all the British are taking the US actors jobs as well. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we have our regional states act. Like, there's, like, I'm pretty sure Montana sounds a little bit different than a Midwest, sounds a little bit different than Texas
Definitely.
or California. So those are just our states. Think of all of our international friends and chop up the regions of their home countries and home areas of, like, I'm trying to remember. Like, I think someone told me there's like 27 different dialects in. Um, am I crazy? Was it Nigeria? I might be crazy, but there's variety of the
Mhm.
voice and like the natural voice, even though the casting director is going to call it an accent or dialect, when it's just you. Um, but to those moments, know your accents and dialects, start there, because then that's again how all the UK and Australian actors are coming here. They have a standard American accent and they figured it out. So I don't know if it's the Shakespeare training, might be the Royal Academy type of training of traditional scope and stage and things like that, and um, working on the voice as a muscle itself.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, when they're looking for you, it does come through when they're looking for you.
How important, I want to talk a little bit about to some people that are maybe aspiring models out there. But before we do that, since you
Sure.
mentioned the voice, how important is it for you to have your clients? I mean, do you recommend that they take voice lessons even if they're not an
Oh,
aspiring
yes,
singer?
please. Yes, please. I would tell every NFL football player to take dance. Um, it is things that work the muscle. It might not feel that it's like directly correlated to what you got going on or what you're doing, or say, "Oh, I only sing in the shower." Um, but as a performer, as an actor, I'm so glad you brought this up. Yes. Yes, please. Um, that's why the internet is there. Of course, not the dark side of the internet, the positive creativity, non-AI-ish internet. Um, but yes, everything you have in this physiology is a muscle that you can control. You can control. So with vocal lessons, absolutely. So those who say thrive in voiceover, a lot of animation, children's program, things like that. Yes, it asks for singing. So if you do have the choir background, a cappella background, performing arts school background, then you do have that foundation, that theater background, musical theater. You do have that foundation, but it doesn't just stop at this project asks for singing. This project asks for a character voice, crazy and kooky and out there Looney Tunes. The voice is just as distinct as, say, the size of your shoe, or the size of your foot. A voice is just as distinct as a style of dance. So voice lessons definitely can help in that way.
And it strengthens your vocal cords and gets you warmed up even for camera because they want to hear every single word you're saying
Yeah.
anyways. And
Yeah, and you can most certainly back to when you're discovering talent and they like whisper in the camera like this and they sound like the low energy and you can't hear them. I was like voice lessons and things like that will help you project, exude, show off more than what you just think that you can turn into a Mariah Carey by nightfall.
right. One person's asking here, facial expressions. What kind
Yes.
of facial expressions do you recommend for headshots? That's an interesting question. I don't think
Very
anybody's
interesting question. I like that
ever.
question. Very nice.
Yeah,
That
me
is a
too.
round of applause for me. Because that is another um because that is another pet peeve of mine. Bad pictures. Oh, I can't tell you how some photographers can direct and some cannot. It just is. And for facials for your headshots, it is just as if you were on camera acting or dancing or what have you. When you get a great director, when you get a great your photographer in this case, like putting you in that headspace or putting you um in that scenario, hopefully then your pictures that are captured shine. Um so a photographer that can direct, for sure. And and for those facials, specifically traditionally the commercial smile and headshot print can be non-smile, smile, full body, cropped to mid torso to the top of your head. Theatrical, TV and film, straight face because you're a blank canvas for casting when it comes to that. Um, and then voiceover, make sure your MP3s work. But usually that's usually commercial smile, if anything. So those are like the main four: commercial smile, print can be smile, can be straight face lifestyle, TV and film, straight drama face. So casting can see that you without distractions of are you this like do we see you in this vision board sort of thing. Um, and voiceover can be interchanged with a commercial headshot, what have you. So, but a photographer that can direct just as much as if you were acting on set at that moment, it's great. Those are definitely the facials like to work on. And hopefully, yeah, you're having fun. If we're camera shy, we circle back to figuring out doing this. Are we in the headspace? If I can't, I don't, I shouldn't, can't, like, can I? Still asking yourself of things. That's like it's like when you're first learning to drive a car, if you do drive a vehicle or learn to drive a vehicle, and you forget and you didn't know how to turn off the windshield wipers, and they just kept going, and then maybe you turn the knob the other direction, they went faster, and you're like, no, this needs to stop. That's what the no's and the I can'ts, and then am I too old? Am I too young? Do I know enough? That's what that feels like, sort of. So no, just turn off the windshield wipers and be bold, be brave.
I love that analogy. So
Yeah,
going back to facial expressions, as a representative, you prefer that when somebody gets headshots done, that they get all different types of expressions done, so that way you
absolutely.
can have something to submit them on different projects.
Versatility, all sides and all facets of you. Wardrobe is a different conversation. Especially when I like meet you in person, and then I have the visual of what potentially is industry out there. Because a lot of folks want to use costumes and props and things like that. I say this to the extreme of cosplaying or like Ren Fair. Yes, please. So then they have proof of the pudding that you are that that talent, that cosplayer, that real. But to say different outfits to gain that attention of casting, they need to actually ask you to keep it simple. They ask you to
Mm.
keep it simple with your audition outfits. Solid bright colored top, makes you pop, makes you seen. So know your tones, know your skin tones, know your makeup, know your cover up, know your blending. There are tutorials for this of all variations from the YouTube to TikToks. If the wheelhouse is not beauty and makeup, but like I said, get very comfortable with you in that mirror because you and that camera is the same thing. So knowing your tones, lighting, things like that, your professional photographer knowing the same and being that professional. There's a makeup art of it. If there is a makeup artist provided, know your tones and hues. So if they are unfamiliar, they can get that education, bring what you need to bring sort of thing. A lot of people love the facials of headshot photography while you're bringing in that variety of different facials, of different genres. Keep it a bare face, give or take a clean face, if you will, because again, you're a blank canvas to casting. So if any of your kiddos are on here, my teenagers, just this is how I separate it with y'all. You have your audition clothes, and then you have your stylish clothes. For my adults, this is your career. You make the proper decisions when it comes to your apparel and wardrobe, but that's also what your rep is for, to bounce off those ideas.
And then don't have it like so touched up that you look fake in the
Yeah, no
photo.
filter.
'Cause everybody sees that.
Yeah, no filters, no touch up. Like this isn't Instagram. This isn't
Right.
any other platform. Like I said, blank canvas to casting, so they need to see you. They need to see you.
I have a question from Sarah Bauer. Sarah, how are you doing? I saw Sarah
Hello.
I saw Sarah in Paris. Not too
Ooh,
Yeah, that's the last time I saw her.
congrats, Coco Goff today. Yeah.
She's in Europe. She has a question. Actually, I think she has a good question. I think I'm reading it correctly, but
Yeah.
if she wants to be a face or part of a brand of product,
Uh-huh.
uh, I'm assuming as a model, should she avoid other brands? So if there's a specific
Ooh,
brand that she wants to be a part of, should she turn away opportunities that maybe might hurt her with that one brand that she wants to be a part of?
sure. Brandability is a big old question for sure. Yes, if you want to be a face of the brand or considered to be um face of the brand, print or commercial, um, yeah, make sure your materials and your social medias, if you have them, are PR friendly. They do do social media background checks. Some brand products do criminal background checks. Um, Especially when, say, for example, like automobiles. Please don't have anything of record that then the brand would have to say look at as a risk, sort of thing. So being very PR friendly in your materials, then all brands in consideration for you for sure. Brands to stay away from, that depends on, say, your current brand, because everything is matriculated in different categories. As I mentioned, automobiles over here versus restaurants over here, beauty over here, so on and so forth. So if you are trying to impress a singular brand of that category, then do your research of who they hire and who they look for and their styles. Make sure your materials, like I said, are PR friendly, as they do background checks, social media wise. Um, and so that you are viable for the opportunity. And if it's already, say, you've been in talks with the brand or have booked another brand, make sure you know their competitors and the exclusivity in your contracts.
It's funny, speaking of brands and wanting to be, part of a brand
Oh yeah.
and making it
That's,
work. I was talking to Dove Cameron's mom years ago. I don't know. You,
woo, we love her. Yeah, she's great. She's a good
uh,
time.
so Dove Cameron's mom was telling me some of the story of when Dove was kind of getting started in the business, and
Yeah.
she really, really wanted to be on Disney. And this is obviously before Liv and Maddie, before her.
This is the before. This is
Yes.
they're still in Georgia probably. Yeah.
Well, no, they had relocated to LA.
They already
Uh,
relocated. Yeah.
yeah, so they had just
No,
relocated to
Bonnie's the
LA, and
best. She's the best. She's so sweet.
yeah, she's great. But anyways, so Bonnie was telling me how she really wanted to be in Disney, but she got the opportunity for a reoccurring role on the
Mhm.
show Shameless. Have you seen the show Shameless?
Yeah, that's a big I see where you're going with this. Yes, that's a
So
big jump between cable networks of premium cable and, yeah.
yeah, so those of you who have watched that show Shameless, those of you who are old enough to watch the show Shameless, or seen episodes, you understand kind of. So she was on the show Shameless. She was on like I think 3 or 4 episodes. Did kind of a reoccurring guest role, and
Mhm.
she was concerned that that was going to hurt her opportunity to work with Disney. But
For sure.
nevertheless, obviously that didn't wasn't a concern, and she
Yeah,
booked
yeah.
Liv and
We get that
Maddie, and
question all
this
the
issue.
time, yeah. Will other content affect the latter? Personally, for me, acting is acting. Um, and and then that's the part where like casting and production come in. Like if the credits are like in this case, you getting those TV credits of a premium cable, very popular show, maneuvered the trajectory.
Yep,
No matter like the brand or genre, and people are worried about being typecasted. I was like, I mean, also there's nothing wrong with being typecasted. That means constant work and working.
right,
Um, but to now with all the streaming wars, there is plenty of places and content to pivot towards or pivot to.
right.
So
So one role is not necessarily going to define your career, but
I don't think so. It'd have to be. Yeah, I don't think so. I can't think of like even the most extreme scenario of like you book a basketball role and you're only playing basketball for the rest of your life. Uh,
right.
uh-uh.
Unless you're Shaquille O'Neal, then maybe.
Then maybe yes.
Maybe.
Maybe with Shaq, he's gonna be a one man show when it comes to that skill. But to the many entrepreneurial moments that he is having of his career, or is it his third act, if you will, second act?
Right.
Um, how many teams was he on? Two, Lakers and Magic, and did he go someplace else?
So I
So we'll
believe
call all the entrepreneurial now fourth act. Caribbean Cruises, Papa John's, TNT, NBA Inside. Like it's nuts.
right.
Love
Yeah.
that for him.
He's doing well for himself.
Yeah, but
Now,
a role does not define you. I think it places your range. The range you're so desperate to find when you're growing and learning, can I accomplish this? Can I achieve that? I think it just lays the foundation of your range.
nice. Yeah, very good. So somebody here is asking about hair. They are from
The
Shreveport.
musical, it's a great one. It's a good one.
Shout out to
One of our
Shreveport.
clients actually just got booked locally here in Los Angeles for it.
The musical.
Hair the musical.
Well,
Very excited.
they're not, I
They'll
don't
be
think they're
in
talking.
August, I believe.
I don't think this person's asking about hair. They're asking about braids.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she switch it, or they, I'm not sure, switch their hair often, but summertime like to wear braids. How
sure.
does that work for casting? Like, what do you recommend when clients switch their hair like that?
Yeah, when you do your protective style in summer, be ready to take it out. That's all I have to say. To your headshots, um, a lot of people get theirs done for me in summer, what have you. So we're ready for fall episodic season. Um, take that first batch of headshots with it, and if it's your 4 to 6 month protective style, then make sure you're just scheduled for after when they come out. So then we can, especially also folks who choose to wig or weave or what have you. You just got to do back to back headshots. I'm so sorry. I wish there was another standard to this. I wish there's enough projects that also wardrobe and makeup then provide. Some do, some don't. Beauty industry products or brands, when they do ask the versatility um, of your hair, I'm assuming black hair, that they'll handle. It is rare though. Um, but then that is a part of negotiating your rates, things like that, as a talent, when production is asking you. But you yourself, you for pictures and everything like that, I would say you have to bite the bullet of doing twice a year photos to make sure that you have that versatility, and then communication with a rep such as myself of, today this is what I look like.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know we're running out of time here, but I briefly
We
wanted to
are already. No,
I
what?
mean, we could stay on another 2 hours if you want. It's up to you.
We usually do. Kiki in it.
Um, I question I have here for models, maybe talent
Sure.
that have are aspiring to be a model, want to be a
Okay.
model, dream of being a runway model or you know print model,
Okay.
but really don't have a lot of acting experience, and they come to you, for representation. Do you encourage them to strengthen acting skills?
Always, yes. Um, to the already or potential test shoot experiences and photography shoots that you have, um, that definitely corresponds to transitioning on of your acting and on camera. So you know how to stand, pose, and walk, which is great. This is why we circle back to say the improv. We're gonna get out of that headspace. What are we walking and talking? Are we moving and grooving? Sort of thing. Um, and it's like similar to, say, talking to my dancers who want to transition to on-camera acting. There's already all of this foundation and solid emotional foundation, exuding facials, body movement, chemistry, technique, and then can we talk with it? Can we make this look authentic? Can we put this in real time? Modeling, yeah, models transitioning. I'll always recommend in class, uh, and to that, working with scene partners, instead of working solo. So then you kind of have that mirror or other body that can help you figure out your space too. Unless you are really truly just the introvert that needs to work alone and solo and figure everything out together. But I'd say let people in. Let people play as well in your sandbox. So then if you're taking that transitioning from modeling and taking that improv class or what have you, loosens up what you all got going here. So then this can be one movement, one body.
Right. Now, also, it just gives them more opportunity too, because if they have the
It opens
abilities to
well, for sure. It
right,
opens this
even even a
opportunity.
basic commercial, they can make money off that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Especially like it's it sounds weird, but like not everyone can take pictures. Um, like, and no one connects it to, like, not everyone can sing, not everyone can dance, but also not everyone can take pictures. And that's a calling card right there. That, like, you don't have any credits, you don't no resume, you're just getting started. It's your headshot. That's what get sometimes we have booked off your headshots. So learning to be comfortable in that space, photography space, pictures are getting taken of you taking pictures, self-recording, self-taping, being comfortable in that space is how then people gravitate towards that work and want to be a part of it,
Right.
want to be your audience. Sure thing.
I love it. Well, I think we solved most of the world's problems tonight.
Yeah,
Um,
you think so? I mean,
I
Coco Gauff
think
won the French Open, so solved. Works for me.
Did he really? I
She
didn't.
did. She did. Yeah, it
Or
was.
or
She
he did.
played earlier today.
Got
So
it.
yay, Coco Gauff, another Grand Slam title.
Nice. Very good. Did you watch that earlier?
Uh, clips. I watched the clips. Like, I think it was on at like 7 a.m. my time.
You didn't wake up early enough.
We did not. We did not. But she's
Uh,
like not even 21 yet, so it's nuts. I was like cheering her on from the States. Absolutely. At least I don't think she's 21 yet.
any big plans this weekend? Anything exciting happening this weekend?
Sunny and 75 in California. The things that come our way. Ooh, there might be some karaoke involved tomorrow. I'm unsure. Plans are
Oh,
TBD. But
nice.
the suggestions of the friend group text has happened. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm not a
What's
singer.
what's
Like, oh,
what what's your go-to karaoke song?
ooh, 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 ooh. What do I usually ask for these days? Oh, I'm a boy band gal. Like
Okay.
I'll NSYNC all day.
NSYNC? Yeah.
All day. What else is in real new song that I really love? What's like stuck in my head right now? Ooh, Beyonce's Love on Top.
Okay.
I make sure to not sing my not octaves. I'm just like, "Oh, yeah, the audience does it, yay." Like, everyone loves the song. Everything's like,
That's smart.
I'm no Beyonce. But, yeah, I for sure easy peasy warm-ups, like, I'm a boy band gal, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees all day.
Nice. Now if somebody was watching today, and let's
Mhm.
say they wanted to reach out or they want you to work with they love your energy, why would they not, right? And they want you to represent them. What's
Yeah,
the best approach, for somebody to get in contact with you?
yeah, for sure. So we have, our submission email, Jones Collective Agency at gmail.com. You're able to send your materials to me. Oh, look at that. I'm on CNN. That's great. That is super cool. I love that. Thank you, Jeremy. I feel so special. That's tight. You're able to send your materials to me. I'm always looking for, like I said, be bold, be brave. I'm looking for those professional headshots. JPEGs preferred. Any of your social media links, your acting materials, a Dropbox link is preferred, or WeTransfer. Um, also get familiar with your videos to be MP4 style. So yeah, headshots, resume, any acting materials. Make sure you slate if you're sending me a scene, commercial, or monologue. If you're dual language or other languages in the home, make sure to slate in that language as well, and or do your second piece or third piece in said language as well. Anything and everything with acting, what you have, feel free to send. So the more materials I have on you, that's how I get to know a potential actor, and that's also how currently I'm always learning, educating myself on my roster, because y'all change every day. From the kiddos to adults, you're achieving different things in unique ways because everyone's a different human. From class to being on national tours of theater, being on tour for dance, things like that. You're achieving some other um, notch in your belt that I don't get to see you every day about. So, um, as detailed as possible in all materials for that everything in acting, so then we can see all of it.
Nice. Very good. So, when submitting a self-tape, do you want just a commercial, a monologue, or both? Or what are you
Both.
looking for?
I love
Both.
both. Like to see all sides of you, all of the polygon, all of it.
Perfect. Well, that being said, Hayden, thank you for spending some time with us on a Saturday. I know you have a busy
Oh,
weekend.
Jeremy, it's a pleasure. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you again, and then hopefully we'll
Montana's
see.
probably gorgeous. Like, man,
Oh, it's
your sun.
beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we brag about the California sunset, but like, just don't get
Yeah,
eaten by a wolf. I just like I wouldn't bear it, sir. Wouldn't bear it.
all right. I'll try not to.
Yeah, yeah. Don't do that.
Well, Hayden, it's good seeing you again. It's good catching up, and hopefully I'll see you in the near future at a live event together.
Yeah, for sure. Happy summer, all. Stay cool where you are. Thank you, Jeremy and squad and team. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Mwah.
All right. See you
Thank you.
guys. See you in the next one. Thank
Bye.
you.